for the most part, I don't like the way it's going. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at another Transformers Robots in Disguise Clash of the Transformers figure, and it's Megatronus, the Warrior class. Now this is a Toys R Us exclusive figure, and we're finally getting some Decepticons in the Warrior class line. I think this might be the second one. We don't get too terribly many of them, but this is definitely a pretty cool figure. I'm not sure if they're going to do a non-TRU version of the figure, but that would be my guess, and I'll kind of talk about that. So let's go ahead and get started with the packaging. Here we have Megatronus in the packaging, and it's pretty much the same stuff we have been seeing. It definitely has kind of that neonish color going on with the Clash of the Titans brand that they've got going on in the new RID line. Megatronus is, well, one of the fallen primes, and he's the guy that Megatron names himself after. So looking at the package, it's got the Clash of the Transformers logo up here, Transformers artwork of Megatronus, the figure Toys R Us exclusive, and the tank mode. The side of the package has some artwork of Megatronus. Bottom of the package has who else you can get, which is Bumblebee, so just kind of a close-up of the artwork. Looks pretty cool. I like it. Clash of the Transformers, there's the figure, dun, 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 dun. And there is the tank mode and the Toys R Us exclusive sticker, and of course we get Megatronus on the side. Back of the package, right there, just like everything else we've seen in this wave. Robot, tank, transforms 7 different ways. There are the instructions on the back of the package. Here's how you play the game, and so many words. So let's go ahead and get this guy out of package and see what we think. So here we have Megatronus out of the package, and for the most part, I do like the figure. I think it's pretty well sculpted. Now, there are some things about this figure that I don't particularly care for, and I will discuss that in detail. But first, to actually look at the figure and talk about the good aspects, I love this color scheme. I think it looks really nice. I like the dark gray, the kind of silvery, metallic gun gray going on there. I like the purple highlights all over the place. The turquoise is a very, very nice touch. I mean, this thing is sculpted well. I really like the details on it, and it's pretty articulated. As far as articulation goes, it's pretty decent. I'm going to take the weapon piece out here and bring it up a little bit closer. So he's got a joint here. He can move out there. Now, the arm joints kind of scare me. When you first move them, they are very, very tight ratchets. But they do kind of loosen a little bit, and he does have waist swivel, which is pretty nice. I like that. He's got a ball joint, but the ball joint on the head feels a little funky for some reason. Not really sure what's going on there. And then he's got the ball joint there. He's got a hip swivel up at the top. He's got a knee joint. Nothing at the feet, and then the hands really just kind of move backwards for transformation. So overall, not too terribly bad as far as articulation goes. So I think my 2 biggest gripes on this figure, one is the lack of the arm cannon. Now he comes with this weapon, which is a little sword piece, similar to what he has in the TV show. I mean, it's detailed okay, it's just gray plastic, and he holds it in his hand, but there is no way for this guy to get an arm cannon like you get in the larger version of this figure, which is a damn shame. I'm very upset about that. However, that being said, it's Megatronus, not Megatron. The other issue I have with this figure is the quality of the plastic. Holy crap, it feels so thin. This really feels like, you know, a knockoff quality plastic. I mean, it's bad. The joints are really, really solid, which I like. However, it scared me so bad when I first moved the head and the elbows. I thought it was just going to snap because the joints were too good for the plastic. The original line of figures felt like McDonald Land Happy Meal toys to me. This feels even more so. In fact, I think the clamp down McDonald's toy that I got feels stronger than this guy. I mean, this is just the weakest plastic in the history of ever, and I thought, looking at the head sculpt, I thought that the neck joint was already getting stress marks on it, but it was just a reflection of the gray, so that really kind of scared me for a second. But yeah, I mean, it's super light. It feels half the weight of the original Bumblebee figure out of Wave 1, which is very disappointing. So taking a closer look at the details on the figure, I love the head sculpt. The body sculpt is pretty nice. I like the paint details. I like that paint pick over the dark gray, the light grays. The mask looks pretty cool, very Fallen-esque. I like the big bulky shoulder pieces here. I think that works pretty well. The helmet really looks like a Shredder style samurai helmet, which works for this character because he's kind of old school. So definitely pretty cool. The back has a lot of weird kibble going on. Just not too impressed with that. But again, the sculpting on the chest, the paint colors look nice. Love the deco. And I love this battle mask, but I wish it would be able to fold backwards so we can see the faceplate as well. Taking a look in the midsection of the robot, the arms are okay. I like the teal paint picks and the gray, the purple looks good. I mean, he's got this little black waist. The hands are all right. You know, overall, it's okay. I like the purple cuffs on the hands. The back of the figure is where it really kind of loses it. He's got these little drill-looking things on his butt, which is kind of weird. And that hollow arm on the back just really kills it for me. It's kind of a shame that it doesn't have a little bit more girth to it. And then taking a look at the back of the legs, oh, these things just look so horrible. I don't know what the deal is with that, but for some reason it does look better than the arms. I think those came out a lot worse than the legs did. I like the big bulky legs with the dark smoky gray and the lighter gray and the metallic kneecaps. A lot of cool detail on the front. It just gets lost when you head towards the back of the figure, which is a shame. For comparison, here we have the Robots in Disguise Megatronus Warrior class next to the Combiner Wars Dead End Deluxe figure, and they're about the same size really. However, this is a much better put together figure. It's a lot more solid, a lot less gap issues, and I've just been way more impressed with the Combiner Wars figure line than I have with the Robots in Disguise line. And finally, here we have Megatronus next to Bumblebee from the same line, well, the previous line, the first wave of figures. And, yeah, I mean, they go well together. I mean, he scales well with the other figures, but it just feels a lot lighter plastic than this one, which is very, very odd to me. It just seems like the further we go down in this line, the cheaper these figures are feeling, and that's a shame because the price sure as hell isn't getting cheaper. And here we have Megatronus in his tank mode, and I really like the tank mode. I think this looks really nice. It's very Cybertronian, and again, I don't know, it's a fun looking figure. It's well sculpted. I like the color design, and even though it's kind of a fake tank, it works. I really do like it. Now, the funny thing about this mode is it really reminds me of Shockwave, which is kind of interesting when he goes into a tank mode from Transformers Prime, and I can really see this being repainted and retooled as Shockwave, which I'll show off in a little bit as to why. But overall, I mean, it looks pretty good. Articulation, the turret does rotate left and right, however, there's no rotation going up and down, and it really only rotates because of transformation. Now, detail, very cool. We get this very Shockwave-esque blasting gun up here at the top. We get some nice missile racks here on the side, and that's, well, about it. Now, you can use the blade and put it into the gun turret here, so I'm just going to open this up a bit, and you're just going to mount it in here where you had it mounted before with the arm, or the arm weapon. Instead of having him hold it, you just mount it here. If I can get it to stick, there we go. So he can have his weapon as a stabby pointy thing if you so desire. I don't know. I don't particularly care for that. I like it without the weapon piece in there, so I'm just going to take that out and snap this back together like that. I think it looks a lot cooler in that mode. So just kind of a close-up. Again, I like it. I think it looks good. No Decepticon logos anywhere, which is interesting in this mode. But, you know, it is what it is. I like the detail. The silver detail back here looks cool. Yeah, overall, it's not too terribly bad. It's just a little fake H-Tank, and, you know, that works for me. I don't mind. For comparison, here we have Megatronus next to Drift from the Robots in Disguise line, and he's definitely a lot taller than Drift. He's a bit wider, but the bulk of the plastic, I mean, he looks, when you generally look down at it, this looks a little bulkier, but that's okay. I do like both of these designs. And finally, here we have Megatronus next to the Transformers Prime, Voyager class, Optimus Prime, and they actually look pretty decent side by side, surprisingly. I think it looks more in scale to the semi-truck than it does the other Warrior class figures from his own wave, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I like the two sitting together. I think they look nice on the shelf side by side, going at each other in a battle. So the cool thing about Megatronus, he's got a couple other modes that are totally unofficial, and I saw this on Bolt Matrix's channel. Definitely go check him out. I will add a link to his video review so you can see him talk about it. But you can actually get a couple different modes out of this guy, and what I think is going to be a Shockwave repaint of this guy. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. So here we have the first mode, which I really do like. I think this is pretty fun. Very Gundam-esque looking, where it's a robot on top of a tank. Definitely kind of fun, cool. He does have motion at his waist, so he can look around, which is very neat. Definitely a fun little goofy thing that you can do with this figure. I don't know, there's just something about that I really, really do like, and I kind of wish it was on a larger scale for some reason. The other mode is a Gerwalk mode, and I really like this one too. He just looks like a giant walking cannon with legs. I don't know, it's just kind of fun. It reminds me a lot of Robotech, and while the other one is more Gundam style, this is definitely more Robotech-y. Definitely dig that. I don't think it's as fun as the other one, but it's definitely pretty cool, and I appreciate Bolt Matrix for showing that off and thinking about that in his video. Definitely cool stuff. And then there's one other thing that I really think that we're going to get a Shockwave out of this, and this is why. Now, as I had said before, I thought the tank mode looked a lot like Shockwave's alternate mode, especially from Transformers Prime, which this is the sequel. And I really see this getting retooled. Just add a different head and repaint it, because all you have to do is put this arm right here into gun mode, and blam, we have Shockwave looking arm going on with this guy. I just totally see that happening. It's natural, it looks right, and yeah, I mean, even if you wanted to, you could come over here on this side, spin it, and then if you want to add, ball sockets, there, gotta love ball sockets. Take this off for a second while I do this, and then if you want to add this in here like that, and put that back in its ball socket, the head back up, turn that around, and then we're going to put this back into arm mode, like this. You could so do that if you wanted to, and kind of extend it out, I guess, if you wanted, which actually, that looks like a pretty decent mode, but I really see this getting turned into Shockwave. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. So is Megatronus a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Good question. Very good question. You know, if you're a Transformers Robots in Disguise fan, this is definitely something that you're going to want because he's the big bad of the show. And this is only the second figure we've gotten, and it's the best figure, quote unquote, that we've gotten for this guy in the fact of articulation and playability. It is a fun toy. I will not take that away from the figure at all, even though it sounds like I've been ragging on this figure the whole review. I like the posability. I love the design of the figure. I love the color scheme. The biggest issues I've got, well, one minor gripe is he doesn't have a gun, but that's a personal preference. I'm more frightened by the fact of how light it feels. I don't know how well this figure is going to hold up in durability. If you're a collector and it's just going on a shelf, it's probably going to be okay, but that plastic could snap in 10 years. I don't know. And then the other issue I've got is if you give this to a little kid, I don't know how durable this is going to handle to a 6-year-old going ape nuts on it. I just, you know, when you first start moving it around, the joints are so tight and that plastic feels so light. I really, really did expect it to crumble in my hands. That and all the hollow parts, I just, come on, guys. It just seems like they're getting cheaper and cheaper, but the price keeps going up, and that just bugs me. Again, that being said, it looks cool, it looks nice. It is a Toys R Us exclusive. Now, I do expect us to get another version with a different head sculpt for like Walmart and Target and Myers and all those places. But for right now, I mean, this is the only Megatronus that you're going to get with this kind of detail. And I will say I do like the unofficial alternate modes. The Gundam and Gerwalk type modes are pretty fun and goofy to play with. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence with the guy still, and I've been messing with it for a full day now. So, if you see him, I would say pick him up because he is a rare figure. There was only one on the shelf, and I've only seen one on the shelf. So, definitely pretty cool looking. I am not disappointed I bought it, but I'm not like, woohoo, I bought it either. So, take it for what it is. So, there he is. The Toys R Us exclusive Transformers Robots in Disguise for 2015 in the Clash of the Transformers line, Megatronus. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.